sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. Oh, God. You're out for sick, and software gets all boogity up. As I said, welcome to Reaver of Common Sense. My name is, this is Jersey Joe. I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a show, it's easy. Just go to shrmedia.com. Well, there's also two other ways you can go. You can go to YouTube or Facebook. And when you go there, just search for SHR Media. Don't forget to hit the little like and subscribe button. Okay, that's a motorcycle. I thought there was thunder outside. I was like, holy shit. Oh, how's everybody doing? I have been out with what I guess is the flu. Just reading something on Project Veritas' web page. They've had some killer videos, which that's why I'm sitting here yakking away. Yakety, yakety, yak. Because I'm downloading and getting ready to. And play those videos for everybody later on. I see the normal bullshit's been going on. Attack Trump, call him a racist, Trump racist. Oh, and what's this, a shithole? Well, guess what, assholes? There's shithole countries. Hell, there's even shitholes in the United States. Some cities are shitholes. I'm not afraid to speak the truth. What's funny is a lot of those countries are stepping up going, yes, we are the shitholes. We trying to get better. We shitholes. I mean, damn. Come on. Gotta go to you. Gotta get that boom, boom, boom. Oh. Like I said, I got, 3... I think I'm going to have 3 videos, 3 topics. So, but that's going to come later on. I know last week must have been bad. I missed several days. I know BZ missed a couple of days, and Sackheads Radio was down. That wasn't good. SHR Media had a pretty bad week when it comes to that stuff. But other than that, what is today? Monday? Martin Luther King Day. And of course, we have the Democrats out there screaming away, Trump's a racist. Evita King came out and spoke out. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, too. She spoke out about all this bullshit. And it is bullshit. You know, after a while it gets tiresome. All right. Hate when I do that. Senior network. All right. It's the same old talking points over and over and over again. And everybody's getting it. And they actually think that they're going to take over. They really do. They think that they are going to be taking majority come November. I don't think they could take majority of dog catchers. I'm being serious. I'm not trying to be funny. Right now, I think they may lose a couple seats. I really do. The delusion that they're in there. And I've heard all these talking points. And again, you know how I bring it up. I was talking to my parents, and I was talking to my mom. I said, yeah, they can go ahead and say that it's because they're, it's a Sherlock. We're getting it back. We're getting it back. We're getting it back. And I said, all right, Mom, you're a Democrat. You hear that. You're going to think, why do I have to go vote? Why do I got to get up and go vote? It's a Sherlock. They said it's a Sherlock. I don't have to vote. But you're going to have the conservatives, you know, those campaign ads I bet you're going to play. And it's going to be, you know, they're going to impeach Trump. They're going to stop conservative values. We have another Supreme Court justice coming soon, maybe two. They're going to get those picks if you give up because they are going to impeach Trump. And it's going to fire up the conservative while the Democrats are going, eh. And on top of it, Democrats have been worried of late because of the tax refund. They know the millennials aren't exactly tied to a party. They start seeing more money in their pockets. You might see those millennials jump ship. And there's not many. The conservatives movement isn't as big as it used to be. There's no more of the real moderate candidates. Those days are over. And what I mean by that is it's just what I said. You have the extremists that are in the party, and that's it. And that is not a large portion, of the American people. It is a very, very small. But what you do hear, you hear the loudest voice. They're the loudest. That's it. And it's sad. It really is. Because new polls are coming out. 2 new polls show President Donald Trump rising support amongst black voters, highlighting his political gains from pushing employers to hire Americans instead of low-wage migrants. It makes me laugh because, I mean, that's some of the things they were that article was talking about. And that's why Democrats tried to demonize it. They try everything they can do to demonize it because they know that it's going to hurt them. But the growing support for blacks, despite furious Democrat claims of racism, could become a shocking political validation in November when Trump will face millions of upcoming upper-income Democrat voters who are angry at his Buy America, Hire America policy. Among black men, Donald Trump's 2017 average approval rating significantly exceeds his 2016 vote share. Amid a January 11th article in the Atlantic by author, Ronald Brownstein, 23% of black men approve of Trump's performance versus 11% of black women, said the article. That score averages out to 17%, or twice the 8% score he was given in the 2016 exit polls. That is a big jump. And that, I think, is the main reason you really hear the racism charge right now. They're trying their best because they're losing their base. Democrats are losing their base. And that's why they want as many immigrants as they can get into this country, because they know these immigrants are going to vote Democrat. So that's why they got to replace their voting base. Pretty much. What is it? Hold on. In November 2016, Trump got 13% support among black men and 4% support among black women. According to the exit polls, that's very low support was critical to his victory in the Democrat now demolished blue wall states. The poll was a cumulative analysis of 605,172 interviews SurveyMonkey conducted with America in 2017, according to Atlantic. It is not clear if additional blacks quizzed by SurveyMonkey hid their support for Trump, just as middle-class whites hid their support for Trump during the 2016 election, out of fear of punishment by pro-Democrat employers, peers, and activists. A second poll by CBS. Did he... Total. On top of being sick, not to jump topics, I had to do medications, and oh man, that even been kicking my ass. Wow. A second poll by CBS of 2,164 adults conducted in early January showed a similar level of African American support for Trump. The CBS's 14% score included 10% who cited the basic rule of politics. I am a Trump supporter, but to keep my support, he has to deliver what I want. Trump is delivering for those African American supporters. African American unemployment is at a record low, and employers are facing growing pressure to hire and pay African Americans because Trump repeatedly enforced his opposition to cheap labor immigration. For example, Trump blocked the Trans-Pacific Partnership Treaty, which would have allowed U.S. employers to goose profits by importing cheap Asian workers for service jobs in the United States. The New York Times admitted January 13, as employers dip deeper into the pool of available labor, workers are coming off the economy sideline. The participation rate of what the economists call prime age workers, who those ages 25 to 54, hit a 7-year high in December. Employment gains have been especially strong for groups that often face discrimination. Unemployment for African Americans fell to 4.8% in November, the lowest rate on record. The Washington Post reported January 12th that the tight labor market is forcing companies to hire employees away from other employers by offering, get this, higher wages. Jeez, isn't that a concept? And then Democrats said that doesn't work, but here we have it. It's working. The unemployment rate in December was 4.1%, leaving employers struggling to attract and retain good workers and raising the prospect of higher wages in the United States approaches congressional elections in November. All right, now once we get it to a point where there's more jobs than there is people available, then you can say, okay, let's bring in a little bit more immigration to fill the gap. That I have no problem with. But Democrats don't understand that. Employers today have lots of options in all corners of industry, whether you're in fast food or retail or investment banking. The CBS polls suggest Trump's support could go higher than 14%. 22% of African Americans told CBS that I am against Trump now, but could reconsider him if he does a good job. Understandably, Trump's wage-boosting immigration reform are bitterly opposed by business-first GOP legislators such as Colorado Senator Cory Gardner and by immigration-first Democrats, such as Democrat Representative Jackie Speier. I think we have an absolute obligation to these DACA kids, she told CNN January 11th. What obligation do we have? We didn't bring them here illegally. That is now our obligation. Period. No obligation from us. I love that. It's going to be our obligation. No, it isn't. Definitely not. Definitely not. Oh, I fucking And now they backed themselves, and they pretty much destroyed. Damn it. I don't want to do that. Any DACA movement. And I don't think they want DACA done or immigration done. And everybody, because even my mom was like, why wouldn't they? Because what are they going to bitch about come election time? They will have Trump's fixing everything that they've been bitching about of late. I mean, seriously, take a look at it. Trump has been fixing it. Oh, man, it's... Oh, my God. So I got... ABA bought a product. And I think I talked about it before I got sick. Well, it ends up the guy never sent it. He sent something and recalled it. And I haven't heard boo from him. Well, long story short, I got a full refund on everything. And now they just sent me, how do you like your product? Rate it. Yeah, I never got it, you jackasses. Oh, man. Some of these preset software systems are just too funny. But I got to give... they were pretty quick at getting everything back to me. I will give them that. Hang on. Yes, I want to leave it negative. This guy's a joke. I don't know. It's our economy. Everything's doing good. And now looks like a bunch of these people, and I can tell you it's Asian, the way the response I got. Jump back to this eBay. They found out they put these, like, okay, these planers are not cheap. So they put it at a very attractive price. And then you take the money, you pull it out of your PayPal once it comes in. And, yeah, they shut down your PayPal, but you can just start a new PayPal up in a different information. I'm pretty sure that's how they're doing it. I mean, it's... Because I see these new people selling these items real cheap, and nothing. So, I don't understand. And what's funny is I got a better planer at a cheaper price, but that's just really not worth the radio time. So, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Good evening. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is featured on the SHR Media Network every Tuesday and Thursday night for 2 hours at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific. Whilst manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ continues to radically change the world of leftists, one diaper at a time. Stop balancing your checkbooks. Stop cleaning your fish tanks. The bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is your magnet for truth, justice, obesity, a darkened studio, and late-night freedom. No United States of America freedoms were abridged in the making of this ad.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians, a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, clues to the clueless. Sackheads Sean, Sackheads Clint, and Sackheads BZ. The Sackheads Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern on shrmedia.com. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and the High Plains Pundit Network. The best in late-night conservative talk, the Sackheads Radio Show, only on the SHR Media Network.
Go ahead, I'll say it again. Some of the best A-roll is going to be B-roll. Like, what are you talking about? Just the last question that you really cut in a couple seconds. Yeah, I'm a freaking artist. I can't just come up with this shit off the top of my head. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Good point. Exactly right. Oh, God.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through shrmedia.com, highplainstalkradio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on blogtalkradio.com. There's
no surrender ever.
Because truth is not always pleasant.
This is Sam on SHR Media. You can listen to my new show starting on Tuesdays in January. Get my perspective on national politics, a conservative's perspective on California politics, the latest in the war on terror, all of that and a lot more here on Tuesdays at SHR Media. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Sam_SHR Media.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hey, this is Sackhead Clint, and I'm with Sackhead Sean, Sackhead BZ. No communists allowed on the SHR Media Network.
Damn straight, mister.
Back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense here on the SHR Media Network. Hey, Sean, you ever see a one-eared elephant?
No.
Check this out.
Oh, that's so tiny.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Listen, we're going to jump into the Veritas videos. I'm going to let them pretty much speak for themselves. There's 3 of them, and yes, there is some advertisement for them, but hey, I'm using their video.
Self.
All right, so I got to do video clip 1. Then
Adventure, betrayal, truth. Pre-order today at AmericanPropTheBook.com.
So you're not a Trump lover?
We're more than happy to help the Department of Justice in their little investigation. So, basically giving them every single tweet that he's posted, even the ones he's deleted, any direct messages, any mentions. Oh yeah, I don't like being part of the machine that is contributing to the America's downfall.
You should look at junior and senior and see what's in there. You know what I mean?
We can absolutely look at every single message, every single tweet, whatever you logged into, what profile pictures you uploaded, what profile pictures that you thought you were going to do.
Are you working with DOJ currently on that? Do you have access to DMs at Twitter?
Oh, I do, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it's better to see what he's saying than being able to correct it, speak up against it.
I could go and change like Trump's tweets. My kind of job required like full power.
We're more than happy to help the Department of Justice in their little investigation. Basically giving them every single tweet that he's posted.
Okay.
Even the ones he's deleted.
Okay.
Any direct messages, any mentions. Oh yeah.
No, these are like private messages.
Both private and public messages.
Like DMs too.
Yeah.
Veritas believes in the power of free people. If they're just given information, if they're given the truth, they'll make the right decisions.
So we're putting on the disguise for tonight's meeting to play.
In our continuing American Pravda series, we shift our focus from mainstream media to social media. Twitter likes to call itself the global town square, but in reality, they want to control thought, ideas, and even our political system itself. But don't take my word for it. Watch Twitter employees admit some very ugly truths about the way they run their global town square. It should make you rethink the way you see the world. And this is just part 1.
What's your title?
Network security engineer.
Okay.
I call it the bouncer of the network.
The bouncer of the network.
Yeah.
So you kind of make engineering like look kind of cool.
Something like that.
This is Clay Haynes, a.k.a. James Clayton Haynes. He is a senior network security engineer at Twitter, and he told our undercover journalist just days ago what sounded like an admission that Twitter is privately sharing President Trump's Twitter account activity with the Justice Department.
So you're not a Trump lover?
No.
So why can't you at Twitter just push everything he has to say off to the side where nobody sees it and put all of his tweets, like this one that he just tweeted about
the size of his button.
The size of his button? Like, we're gonna go into nuclear warfare because of him. Like, what are you doing at your job to kind of quiet him or to downplay some of the things that he comes up with? Because honestly, he's gonna get us into so much trouble.
Yep. So funny you mention that. It was not my decision. The decision, though, was that most of the stuff he tweets is completely newsworthy.
Okay.
And so because it's newsworthy, even though he's making a complete ass out of himself in the country, we have to let those tweets up and let him do what, essentially he has a carte blanche to do whatever he wants.
Okay.
The other thing too is that we're more than happy to help the Department of Justice in their little investigation.
Okay.
So,
how?
Basically giving him every single tweet that he's posted.
Okay.
Even the ones he's deleted.
Okay.
Any direct messages. Any
Good.
mentions? Oh yeah. So it's.
I'm glad that you're doing that. Like something. Something needs to be done.
Yeah.
This conversation took place in our second meeting with Haynes. There would be many more. I decided to meet with him myself to see if I could confirm the story. So we're putting on the disguise for tonight's meeting with Clay. We're just changing the hair up a little bit. We're going to be putting on some glasses. We're going to be going to the steakhouse to meet with Clay and talk politics. Well, you should look at junior and senior and see what's in there. You know what I mean?
Have you seen?
There's a reason why we have subpoena process for that very reason.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, we can absolutely look at every single message, every single tweet, whatever you logged into, what profile pictures you uploaded, what profile pictures that you thought you were going to do.
Are you working with DOJ currently on that?
I can't comment, and if I knew, I wouldn't comment. So.
We don't know if there is a subpoena from Justice requesting the information, or if Twitter has just volunteered it to the Mueller investigation on its own. To be frank, we don't have enough information. But if anyone at Twitter would know about such things, it would be Clay Haynes.
So what we can do on our side is actually very terrifying.
Why? It can be terrifying.
We have full access to every single person's account, every single direct message, deleted direct messages, deleted tweets. I can tell you exactly who logged in from where, what username and password, when they changed their password.
Why do you keep it? I guess I don't get that. I'm not in this field, so I don't get why you keep it. Like, who cares?
If we ever get subpoenaed.
Oh, okay.
Mostly law enforcement, and also helps us to detect the pattern of history. It's very, very dangerous.
Okay.
Also, very, very creepy big brotherish.
The fact is, even if Haynes was just speculating about helping justice, his admission shows a clear and dangerous political bias at the highest levels of Twitter.
I'm a bleeding heart liberal.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I think it comes with the territory.
Mm-hmm. So you're hoping that this year goes by fast because of who's in office?
Partially that. Partially, I'm just glad 2017 went past.
You're not a Trump lover.
Are you?
No.
On one hand, yes, he's dangerous. I don't like him, and he's a terrible human being, and I want to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we had internal reviews about that, and I wasn't the only one that basically said that if we let this maniac, something along the lines of if we let this maniac continue, I'm going to have a hard time finding another job.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I don't like being part of the machine that is contributing to the America's downfall. We're more than happy to help the Department of Justice in their little investigation.
Maybe there is a subpoena from Justice. But if there is, does Twitter just have to roll over and give up private information of the president? No, they don't. Just last year, the FBI asked Apple to help unlock the phone of a San Bernardino terrorist, a seemingly reasonable request. But Apple fought it, claiming there was a bigger issue involved. Apple's CEO said the request from Justice was chilling. Interestingly, Twitter's CEO, Jack Dorsey, supported Apple's stand. Maybe Jack Dorsey needs to grow some apples.
American Pravda by James O'Keefe. Adventure, betrayal, truth. Pre-order today at AmericanPravdaBook.com.
Well, that is... This is why I don't use Twitter. I don't use... If it wasn't for this show, I would not use Twitter or probably Facebook that much. The only thing I'd probably use Facebook for was to play a few games and maybe keep up to date with friends and relatives. Otherwise, I would stay clear away from these social medias because of exactly that type of atmosphere. Listen, I have nothing to hide. But I also... Hang on. What the hell's going on here? Oh, fudge nuggets. I also like to keep my private life. I want to be responsible for who knows what about me. And I don't want some twit behind a computer deciding what information they can leak. Because basically what they're doing almost is trying to blackmail them. Maybe not blackmail is the wrong word, but it's now that it's out. This is when our government needs to go, whoa, wait a minute, time out. You can do what? You're doing what? You're reading, you're keeping? Interesting. All right, I'm going to play the next one in the series. There's 3 of these videos, and it just gets worse and worse. After this video, we're going to take a break, and then I'll come back and play the last one, which should scare the bejesus out of everybody. So here we go, Veritas again. Getting it started. There we go.
Get the shitty people not show up. It's a product thing.
Let's say it was a pro-Trump thing, and I am anti-Trump. I was like, I banned this whole account. It'll go to you, and then it's at your discretion. And if you're anti-Trump, you're like, you know what, Mo was right. Let it go.
The idea of the shadow ban is that you ban someone, but they don't know they've been banned because they keep posting, but no one sees their content. So they just think that no one's engaging with their content, when in reality, no one's seeing it. I don't know if Twitter does this anymore.
How do you know if it's a bot and not a normal person?
You use machine learning. You look for Trump or America, and you have like 5,000 keywords to describe a redneck, and then you look and you parse all the messages, all the pictures, and then you look for stuff that matches that stuff.
So is it gonna essentially ban certain mindsets and or people who could be negative?
No, it's not gonna ban a mindset. It's gonna ban a way of talking.
You have access to DMs at Twitter?
Oh, I do.
For one, of bad press if people figure out that you're shadow banning them, it's unethical in some way.
Trying to downrank it. We're trying to get the shitty people not show up.
Yeah, they said, this is pro-Trump. I don't want it because it offends me. That's that. I say, I ban this whole thing.
I'm pretty sure every single employee on Twitter hates Trump. What we can do on our side is actually very terrifying.
Our last video exposed Twitter's eagerness to turn over President Trump's direct messages to the Justice Department. We think today's release will help you understand why. Because although Twitter presents itself as politically neutral, its culture behind closed doors is one of blatant censorship, systematic bias, and political targeting. While many suspected this was the case, today we present the proof out of their own Twitter mouths.
So we're probably about 90% anti-Trump, maybe 99% anti-Trump.
It's really hard to decide what to do about Donald Trump. Yeah, half of the people want to ban him, half of the people want to keep him.
Does everybody at Twitter feel? Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go to Google in order to find the conservative.
What department do you? I'm in trust and safety. I do all the policy work for safety policy. I'm in the controversial team. Oh my goodness! I'm the team everyone says a lot about. Yeah.
Olinda Hassan is a policy manager for Twitter Trust and Safety. Her team is responsible for Twitter's rules and regulations, determining what content is and isn't allowed. Just last month, Trust and Safety updated their policy in an effort to crack down on racism and other forms of hate speech.
But how do you keep, my timeline, how do you keep certain things off my timeline? So because people will, read speech. We're trying to downrank it, but you need to also have a control of your timeline. So I've tried to, block people like Cernovich and stuff like that, and mute and stuff like that, but they still show up, all the time. That's something we're working on. I mean, I don't know what to do. We're working on where we're trying to get the shitty people not show up. It's a product thing we're working on.
We wondered which people Hassan was referring to. What forms of free speech does Twitter want to stop from showing up? Former content review agent Mo Norai shed some light.
Let's say it was a pro-Trump thing, and I am anti-Trump. I was like, I banned this whole account. it'll go to you, and then it's at your discretion. And if you're anti-Trump, you're like, oh, you know what, Mo was right, let it go.
Narai's job at Twitter was to review content, flagged as harmful, offensive, or in violation of Twitter policy, and ban it if it was. Content review is an integral part of any social media platform, but as Narai describes, it is highly susceptible to abuse.
On stuff like that, it was more discretion on your viewpoint, I guess, how you felt about a particular matter.
Oh, so it wasn't automated. It was a user in services person would deem it pro-Trump and take it down.
Example, if it was, they said, oh, this is pro-Trump, I don't want it because, it offends me, that. I say, I ban this whole thing, and it goes over, and you're like, oh, you know what, I don't like it too. You know what, Mo's right, let's go. That's it. You're like, Mo's right, let's carry on. What's next? Keep it coming.
Yeah, bring me another one to take down. Yeah.
So I flag something, it's going to go by you.
Correct, and then, you look at it, you're like, oh, hey, this is pro-Trump, and this might be like, oh, I don't like it.
Yeah, you know what? So on the reverse of that, they would just let a lot of the, I guess, left-leaning or liberal stuff to go through unchecked?
It can come through check, and then I'll be like, oh, you know what, this is okay, let it go.
Narai suggests Twitter's content review is more than a safeguard against hate speech. It's a tool used to promote a political agenda.
You made the comment that, Twitter maybe wouldn't, verbally say some things that they, wanted to put in their company policy, but they were kind of unwritten rules as far as the content that they would allow or disallow.
A lot of unwritten rules, and being that we're in San Francisco, we're in California, very little state, very blue state, you have to be, as a company you can't really say it because it'll make you look bad, but behind closed doors, a lot of stuff was like, hey, you have to do this way, or something like that. It was never written, it was more said.
But it may not just be average users feeling the heat. Does Twitter target certain political figures for suspension? And more importantly, why?
I should ask about this. Yeah, it's a really good point.
Pranay Singh is an engineer for Twitter's direct messaging team.
Why did you take his account down a couple weeks ago? I didn't know we did that.
Yeah, his account went down, for a while.
Oh, it might be the U.S. government pressure.
What?
Yeah, they do that.
They do?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they don't like people messing with their politics. And he got shit on a lot of people.
Wow. He said the U.S. government would have done that. Would have asked Twitter to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Do you get requests from the government to take
What is Twitter's tactic when it comes to censorship? To find out, we spoke with former Twitter software engineer Abhinav Vajrevu.
One strategy is to shadow ban so that you have ultimate control. The idea of the shadow ban is that you ban someone but they don't know they've been banned because they keep posting but no one sees their content. So they just think that no one's engaging with their content when in reality no one's seeing it.
Shadow banning is a way of blocking users from a social media platform without notifying them. Tweets from a shadow banned user still appear to their followers, but don't show up in search results or anywhere else on Twitter. It's an effective way of deterring Nigerian scammers and other online fraudsters. But if abused, shadow banning is dangerous.
You just sort of turn off all of the features for them. So they still see everything, it's all there. You can like it, you can favorite it, or you can retweet or whatever. But at the end of the day, no one else interacts with no one else sees what you're doing. So all that data is just thrown away. It's risky though.
Why is it risky?
Because people will figure that shit out and be like, it's a lot of bad press if people figure out that you're shadow banning them. It's unethical in some way, so I don't know. In the past, people have been really, really pissed off about that, and even people who haven't been shadow banned have called it a really terrible thing to do. So yeah, it's a risky strategy.
And so you go ahead and keep on tweeting.
Yeah.
And you've been banned and don't even know it.
Yeah. I definitely know Reddit does this, but I don't know if Twitter does this anymore.
Could shadow banning be used to stealthily target political views? Here's former Twitter engineer Conrado Miranda.
I've heard talk that it's a good thing because they'll use it to ban like Trump supporters or conservatives. So I didn't know if like that's just a rumor or if that's true.
That's a thing.
That's a thing?
That's a thing. Yeah.
So how? How was that done?
Okay. Basically, Twitter is like a huge set of like the tweets and a shitload of filters on top of it.
Okay.
That's one of the filters on top of it.
Okay.
That's about it. Like that's as much as I know about.
So a feature on top of it?
Yeah, like imagine like you have all the tweets ever that happened like from the beginning of time in reverse chronological order.
Right.
So like until we get to the actual system that like ranks the timeline, we just like we have a bunch of filters removing some tweets. So like we have a stream of tweets and we have like one filter just kicking out some of them.
Our conversation with Miranda was illuminating. Twitter's censorship practices go far beyond a few politically motivated techies. Twitter is run by an advanced set of algorithms, tools that are used to sift through vast amounts of data, or in this case, tweets. Their algorithms block, mute, and prioritize everything on the Twitter platform, and they're growing smarter by the day.
Just go to a random tweet and like just look at the followers. It'll all be like guns, God, America. Like I mean the American flag and like the cross.
Yeah,
something.
no one really likes America. No.
Like who says that? Who talks like that? It's for sure a God.
Really?
Yeah. Or a redneck.
Rednecks don't exist.
Yeah. So can you get rid of them?
I wouldn't know.
Can you get rid of them?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that?
You just lead them, but like the problem is there are hundreds of thousands of them, so you've got to like write algorithms that do it for you.
Pranay Singh described how one Twitter algorithm removes users they believe to be bots, Russian bots.
How do you know if it's a bot and not a normal person?
Oh, you use machine learning.
It's like an algorithm that you write where like you can like look for things, right? So like if there's like people who are like American guns, can you like write an algorithm to just take all those people out?
Oh, yeah.
Do you do that?
It's actually how we do it, yeah. It's pretty close. You should be an engineer. You're really good at this shit.
So can you just write them against like, so like say someone has like Trump in the name, like, or like conservative or like
America first.
Yeah. Can you just like write algorithms?
Are you sure you're not a programmer? That's completely how you do it.
It's what?
She's a very smart. That's how you do it. Like,
exactly how you do it.
yeah, you look for Trump or America, and you have like 5,000 like keywords to describe a redneck, and then you look and you like parse all the messages, all like the pictures, and then you look for like stuff that matches like that stuff. And like if it, so like you assign like a value to each thing. So like Trump would be like 0.5, like a picture of a gun would be like 1.5, and like if it comes up, the total comes up above like a certain value, then it's a bot.
Weeding out fake users is an important tool for Twitter, but according to Pranay, this tool is not applied equally across the political spectrum.
Do you think the majority of the algorithms are against conservatives or liberals?
I would say the majority of it are for Republicans, because they're all from Russia and they wanted Trump to win. So
you'd mostly just get rid of conservatives?
I knew that Trump was in Russia.
This secret project you're working on is going to help people communicate better?
That's the goal. So what I'm working on, okay, this is the goal of what I'm working on. Okay. Ultimately. Okay. The goal of what I'm working on is going to make it so that everything in Twitter is dynamic.
This is Twitter software engineer Stephen Pierre. He told our undercover journalist about a secret project involving machine learning. In the tech world, machine learning refers to algorithms that teach themselves how to solve problems, eliminating the need for human input. It may sound like something out of a Stanley Kubrick movie, but machine learning is all too real, and it's about to take over your social media feed.
Every single conversation is going to be rated by a machine, and the machine is going to say whether or not it's a positive thing or a negative thing. And whether it's positive or negative, that's not going to go for context. But more it's like if somebody's being aggressive or not, right? Somebody's like just cursing at somebody like, oh, whatever. They might have a point, but it'll just like vanish.
So is it going to like essentially ban certain mindsets and or people who could be negative?
No, it's not gonna ban the mindset. It's gonna ban like the way of talking.
Ban a way of talking. See, Twitter may fancy itself the global town square, but it's clear from our reporting that Twitter is not an open and unbiased platform. Anonymity of its internal policies have bred irresponsibility and abuse. If Twitter wants to convince its users it truly respects free speech, there must be some transparency. Bring shadow banning out of the shadows. Algorithms are only as good as the weights that are put on them. So take your thumb off the algorithmic scale. Get rid of the engineers that abuse their power and show us your HR policies. Jack Dorsey, stay true to your mission statement to, quote, give everyone the power to create and share ideas and information instantly without barriers, or become irrelevant. And stay tuned, Jack Dorsey, because we at Project Veritas are just getting started.
You know what? Now I'm to the point anymore that I think I'm done with Twitter. I really do. We're going to play the last video and then head to break. So I'm just going to save myself a step. Let me get this set up real quick. It's, I know it's also giving into the assholes, but it's to the point of how much do you keep fighting something? You don't know what's worth fighting and what isn't worth fighting. Which one is this? 100. Not breaking. Here we go. All right, this is the last one. Now I'm going to take a break. Okay. Come on. You can do it. It's a little slow getting up and going.
I can actually read your DMs.
So all your sex messages and your like dick pics are on my server now. No shit. Yeah. All your illegitimate wives and like all the girls you've been f***ing around with, they're on my server now. Oh my god. I'm gonna send it to your wife. And she's gonna use it in your divorce.
So if I send someone a direct message, y'all are gonna look at it to analyze it?
A machine's gonna look at it.
It is creepy Big Brother. Like creepy Big Brother. I mean, it's like a level of like it. I don't want to say freaks me out, but it disturbs me. I've seen way more penises than I've ever wanted to see in my life.
On the DM messages?
DMs, tweets, yes.
Penises?
Lots of dicks.
There's teams dedicated to it. I mean, we're talking at least three or 400 people. Yes, they're paid to look at dick pics.
If you go to Twitter for the first time, we have information about you. You leak way more information than you think.
I've seen way more penises than I've ever wanted to see in my life. DMs, tweets, yes. Lots of dicks.
We're trying to get the shitty people not to show up.
We aren't as creepy as Facebook for people, but we know some stuff.
What we can do on our side is actually very terrifying.
Twitter has pages and pages of rules and requirements, including its comprehensive terms of service that protects Twitter from you. But you have nothing that protects you from Twitter. The concern? How much information do they have, and what are they doing with it?
What do you do on Twitter? I'm an engineer in the messaging team. So you could totally hack her DMs. Maybe I could, maybe I couldn't, you know? maybe I could hack into her. Like, I don't know. Who knows, right?
Pranay Singh, like a lot of the engineers we talked with, seemed to have a more than cavalier attitude about user privacy. It is almost like the whole culture at Twitter is about abusing and laughing at users.
So everything you send is stored in my server. So I can read exactly what you're sending. Can I delete it? You can. It's already on my server now. So all your sex messages and your like dick pics are on my server now. No shit. Yeah. All your illegitimate wives and like all the girls you've been around with, you're my server now.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna send it to your wife, and she's gonna use it in your divorce.
Singh says looking at DMs is not just a joke, it's business. Big business.
So what happens is like when you like write stuff and when you post pictures online, they never go away. Like they're always on there. Because like even after you send them, people are like analyzing them, they're seeing what you're interested in, they're seeing what you're talking about, and they sell that data.
They sell to who? Like advertisers?
Advertisers.
Wait, you talking about just regular tweets or the DMs? Or both?
Everything. Anything you post online.
Wow. So even what you think is private, direct message, they're analyzing it and selling that.
Hey, what? So if I send someone a direct message, y'all are going to look at it to analyze it?
A machine's going to look at it. An algorithm will look at it.
Why?
And they'll make a virtual profile about you.
This is not your run-of-the-mill big data. This is personal and specific, and that has a high premium to advertisers.
To actually charge advertisers for money, we have to prove it was you, and that's why using like the email address or like a cookie, something that can track you, that's more likely.
Mihai Florea is a Twitter software engineer who's been with the company for 3 years.
That's how we make most of our money.
Yeah, so you kind of like sign your privacy away, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're paying for the right to use our website with your data, basically.
Yeah.
And it's the same on every free website.
It seems like Twitter is completely at the mercy of the almighty advertising gods. Twitter's power is terrifying, and it extends far beyond its platform.
You leak way more information than you think.
Okay.
Like, we have information from people, like, if you go to Twitter for the first time, we have information about you.
Okay.
Because, like, we actually bought a company because of this, like, ads network. So, like, when you visit, like, we serve ads for other companies in other people's sites.
Okay.
So when you go and you see that ad, we get the information that you're this person seeing this ad at this moment, at this location, on this website.
Okay.
So we already have a lot of information about you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, what if that fell into the wrong hands? How would you protect people from that?
You don't.
You don't?
There's no way.
Indeed, Twitter's privacy policy states, quote, "We receive information when you view content on or otherwise interact with our services, even if you have not created an account," unquote.
It is creepy Big Brother. Like
creepy Big Brother.
I mean, it's like a level of, like, I don't want to say freaks me out, but it disturbs me.
Twitter's overarching surveillance begs the question, how private are your privates?
I get to look at all the reported tweets, which means I've seen a lot of dick pics. It's ridiculous.
So how do you keep those from popping up? Like, are there like little robots?
There are bots. There's something called machine learning, which basically, when someone reports that picture, it gets put into a database, and then as more of those pictures come into place, the machine, our services learn
that's not appropriate.
Yeah, and also more along the lines that they can actually start guessing, like, is this equipment, or is this maybe like an elbow or something?
Yeah. Or is this just a man named Dick?
Yeah, exactly.
When I met with Clay Haynes last week, he was quite forthcoming about his access to intimate photos.
Didn't you say something about that when you were saying you looked at
Twitter?
Yeah, like nothing's really deleted.
No. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and yes, I did. And no, it's not.
Like everything? Like even like DMs?
Oh yeah, we can actually read your DMs.
I've seen way more penises than I've ever wanted to see in my life.
On DM messages?
DMs, tweets, yes.
Penises?
Lots of dicks.
It sounds like there's a lot of porn involved in what you do.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, there is a lot of porn.
I mean, when you see all these, like, dicks, like, that's crazy.
That's, yeah.
Like
and
actually,
I know
able to,
this sounds horrible, but I'm actually glad, unfortunately, it's just dicks, or it's just blowjob pictures, or it's just that type of stuff.
No, these are like private messages.
Both private and public messages.
Like
People
DMs too.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary that stuff is stored, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, and that could be that could be shared. I mean, do you have access to DMs at Twitter?
Oh, I do, yeah.
Okay. So when people have access to this stuff, they can leak it. It happens.
Oh, yeah. And it's a genie out of the bottle kind of thing after that point.
Yeah.
You know, sure, I could fire them. Heck, I could probably even sue them in some cases.
Yeah.
But the genie's already out of the bottle. Like, how do you actually recoup costs? You can't calculate the cost or the damage of that.
Of sharing a penis picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's teams dedicated to it. I mean, we're talking on at least three or 400 people. Yes, they're paid to look at dick pics. You know, there's girls that will spread eagle pictures on there.
Whoa. Like a boyfriend and a girlfriend, right?
No.
What is that?
Porn stars.
Why are they DMing eagle?
They're trying to get people to, go buy their videos and shit.
To private messages.
Private message, public message. Yeah.
With access to your most intimate photos and information, Twitter is Big Brother. What's more alarming, they're not the biggest brother.
Do they know anything from like ad services though? Like, you know how like ad companies know a bunch about you?
We know some stuff. We aren't as creepy as Facebook or Google, but we know some stuff.
So there you have it. Twitter is aggressively harvesting your personal information, tracking your every movement, your thoughts, and your private correspondence with your significant other. According to Clay Haynes, Twitter's senior network security engineer, if that privilege is abused, then you, quote, can't calculate the cost of that damage.
Who wants to go have a conversation? I won't be using Twitter, and Facebook is going to get holy shit. This is the problem. These companies got too big, and they think they're too powerful. And I hope to God people start paying attention to these videos, because it's not just going to be a conservative issue soon. Because if you think you're going to stop right at conservatives, everybody thought Hitler would stop with taking over one country. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Good evening. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is featured on the SHR Media Network every Tuesday and Thursday night for 2 hours at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific. Whilst manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ continues to radically change the world of leftists, one diaper at a time. Stop balancing your checkbooks. Stop cleaning your fish tanks. The bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is your magnet for truth, justice, obesity, a darkened studio, and late-night freedom. No United States of America freedoms were abridged in the making of this ad.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians, a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, clues to the clueless. Sackheads Sean, Sackheads Clint, and Sackheads BZ. The Sackheads Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern on shrmedia.com. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and the High Plains Pundit Network. The best in late-night conservative talk, the Sackheads Radio Show.
only on the SHR Media Network.
Go ahead, I'll say it again. Some of the best A-roll is going to be B-roll.
Like, what are you talking about? Just the last question that you cut a couple seconds. Yeah, I'm a freaking artist. I can't just come up with this shit off the top of my head. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Good point. Exactly right.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through shrmedia.com, highplainstalkradio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on blogtalkradio.com. There's
no surrender ever.
Because truth is not always pleasant.
This is Sam on SHR Media. You can listen to my new show starting on Tuesdays in January. Get my perspective on national politics, a conservative's perspective on California politics, the latest in the war on terror, all of that and a lot more here on Tuesdays at SHR Media. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Sam_SHR Media.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hey, this is Sackhead Clint, and I'm with Sackhead Sean, Sackhead BZ. No communists allowed on the SHR Media Network.
Damn straight, mister.
Back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Pay no attention to the muffled screams in the background. You are listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on the SHR Media Network. Back to you, Joe.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Don't forget, coming up top of the hour, I believe, is Dan Butcher's show. I don't have all the information in front of me, but I'm pretty sure that's tonight. You know me. I may get to be blonde here and there. So let's see. Dr. Alveda King. She is the niece of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., was on Breitbart News Sunday on the eve of her uncle's namesake holiday, hitting back at racism accusations against President Donald Trump and leveling her own complaints against ultra-liberal Facebook. Quote, I agree that President Trump is not a racist. He has done so much. Just now, Trump signed a bill that was sponsored by Congressman John Lewis, making Martin Luther King Jr. historic site in Atlanta a national park. The first park to be named after an African-American man. King continued. She defended the president against the rash of new racism accusations, supposedly stemming from a vulgar remark Democrat staffers are complaining Trump made about third world countries that send the United States massive amount of immigrants. You know what's funny? I would like some of the tapes leaked of Obama's conversations in the White House, Bush's, just keep going back. Because they did not speak as prim and proper as they do in public. Which one was the one that was constantly running around the Oval Office using the N-word? I think that was Lyndon Baines Johnson, LBJ. This bullshit. Hey, guess what? They are shithole countries. So if you said it, Trump, no problem. I still back you. They're shithole countries. Doesn't mean I don't like the people. Just means that it's a shithole country. I love Jamaica. I'd love going there for vacation. But they got sections on that island where the people live in squalor, and it's a real shithole place to live. Puerto Rico, some nice tourist areas, shithole place to live. United States, great place to live. Guess what? We have shithole cities. You know, I'm tired of this. Everything Trump says, it's racist this, racist that. That's why they just sound like little kids that haven't gotten their way. This is why I don't think they're going to retake in November. Because too many people are getting tired of this bullshit that's going on. And it's not Trump bullshit. It's Democrat bullshit. They don't have anything else to say. Trump cornered them on DACA. He took the high road with DACA. And I'm not saying I agree with DACA. He took the high road. Took the wind right out of their sail. They had nothing to argue. That's why they had to create this, so that they could back away from discussions. They don't want DACA. They don't want immigration reform. They don't want tax reform. They want health care fucked up. Why? So they have something to complain about during election time. How many years have we heard that tax reform? Immigration. Hell, half of Trump's policies, Pelosi, what was it when she first ran? Do you know what she ran on? Cleaning the swamp. She was going to get rid of all that scummy money, all the corruption. That's what she ran on. The exact thing that Trump ran on. Guess what? Democrats backed securing the border. Democrats backed blocking the border because too many illegals were coming in and taking American jobs. Democrats backed infrastructure. Hell, Obama ran on it, did a stimulus package, had billions of dollars set aside that disappeared for infrastructure. So that's why I don't believe a fucking word these waste of oxygen. Just the parrots. That's all they are. Parrots. The same lines over and over again. Over and over again. And when you have somebody like Alveda King coming out, and she went on, and there are other kinds of legislation and things that President Trump is passing, including getting lots of blacks out of jail. He's going to work on doing that, believe it or not, putting them back to work, putting America back to work. African Americans especially, because our job rate, our hire rate was so low, and it's going up along with everybody else's rate. So President Trump is not racist. He cares about America, period. And he said, no matter what color our skin is, we all bleed red. So he sees black people, all people, as people. He sees Americans as the people he is supposed to serve, and he's doing that. See what she said right there? He sees Americans as the people he is supposed to serve. Not foreigners, not illegal aliens, Americans they are supposed to serve. And she went on to say he is not a racist, and she just wanted to put that out there. You know, all these Democrats are trying to do is they cannot fight anything that he's been doing successfully. So they have to create, and their playbook tells them to go to racism. It tells them to accuse of racism. They tried this during the election. Didn't work. They tried to do this over the last year. Didn't work. They have tried so much stuff that has not worked. But yet they keep on trucking. When are they going to get it through their heads? When there's no more Democrats? King also expressed her frustration with tech giant Facebook, who recently blocked the pro-life Roe versus Wade documentary, on which she is collaborating with other activists from raising funds from the social media site's ads. Facebook has been taking it down, not letting the paid ads go forth and all that. Trying to stop the message that's overtaken this nation, and that is that babies in the womb deserve civil rights like anybody else does. Just because they are preborn or unborn, they're human beings. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to solve this real quick. Now, Democrats say that it's not a human yet. Let me ask you this. If you murder a pregnant woman, don't you get charged with 2 murders? So if that's not a human, how are you getting charged twice? Let that sink in. It just, instead of fighting, maybe come together, why don't we? But that doesn't help Democrats if we came together. And I know there would have to be compromises made, and I'm willing to. I don't agree with DACA at all. But if we got a full security border bill, I'd say DACA. Fine. That's what compromises are. That's trade-offs. Okay? Democrats don't want that. They want it their way. And they've said it. Harry Reid said it. Obama said it. They want compromise, but it's going to be their way or no way. And they still got that mindset. Their way or no way. Their way or no way. And instead of trying to act like Americans, they want to do everything they can to tear us down. I don't know. I just, and I've said it, I don't want an all conservative Congress. That would be bad. Ow. Biting your tongue is bad too. Heteronormal, normative, and masculine culture of... Oh, my God. They just love making up new words. I don't know. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Good evening. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is featured on the SHR Media Network every Tuesday and Thursday night for 2 hours at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific. Whilst manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ continues to radically change the world of leftists, one diaper at a time. Stop balancing your checkbooks. Stop cleaning your fish tanks. The bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is your magnet for truth, justice, obesity, a darkened studio, and late-night freedom. No United States of America freedoms were abridged in the making of this ad.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The Right Guy on SHR Media.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians, a team of ordinary men emerged from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, clues to the clueless. Sackheads Sean, Sackheads Clint, and Sackheads BZ. The Sackheads Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern on shrmedia.com. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and the High Plains Pundit Network. The best in late-night conservative talk. The Sackheads Radio Show, only on the SHR Media Network.
Go ahead, I'll say it again.
Some of the best A-roll is going to be B-roll.
Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Just the last question that you're going to cut a couple seconds. Yeah, I'm a freaking artist. I can't just come up with this shit off the top of my head. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Good point. Exactly right.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through shrmedia.com, highplainstalkradio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on blogtalkradio.com. There's
no surrender ever.
Because truth is not always pleasant.
This is Sam on SHR Media. You can listen to my new show starting on Tuesdays in January. Get my perspective on national politics, a conservative's perspective on California politics, the latest in the war on terror, all of that and a lot more here on Tuesdays at SHR Media. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Sam_SHR Media.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hey, this is Sackhead Clint, and I'm with Sackhead Sean, Sackhead BZ. No communists allowed on the SHR Media Network.
Damn straight, mister.
Back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening.
Contact is the evening.
Now back to Reaver of Common Sense with Jersey Joe.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Don't forget, coming up top of the hour is Dan Butcher. That's right, Dan Butcher is coming up at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I just came across this. I got to play it. I love Tim Allen, and it's a shame he's off the air. But I came across this on Facebook, so hold on.
More dangerous to me, especially in this climate, than a funny, likable conservative.
A special message for our customers in California. Our rock and earthquake kits have come a long way since the 1970s. Unlike your governor, who for some mysterious reason is still Jerry Brown.
You know, just because you can change something doesn't mean you should. Like this, Colt 45. Basically, the same service mechanism they designed in 1911.
Eve is opening doors for women.
Just like Hillary Clinton.
No, Hillary better knock. Make sure Bill's got his pants on.
What are you doing?
Cleaning a flintlock musket from
Hillary
the
opened the door
Revolutionary
to
War
a
while
big
enjoying
loss.
a little bacon and biscuits. This is what our forefathers died for.
Can't you do that in your den?
The Bill of Rights says I can do this wherever I want to do this. It's modeled after one the Navy SEALs use. Those are tough SOBs, aren't they, the Navy SEALs? You know why? Because when they fall down, their parents probably said, get up. When life knocks you down, you don't lie on the canvas crying and overeating like Al Gore after the 2000 election. Boy, he blew up like the Hindenburg, didn't he? It's like the circle of life.
Like the Lion King?
Just like the Lion King. Look at here. See the fish? Fish catch the worm, we catch the fish, we eat the fish.
Who eats us?
That's the beauty of it. We're the top of the food chain. And since we're Americans, we're at the very top. Modern man, what do? You run from stuff. Responsibility, fatherhood. You can't even change a tire. A tire! What did you get off the couch, you moron, and go outside? You'll see something bright. It's called the sun. It's like a tanning bed, but it's free. Mike Baxter, nice to meet you.
You too. Your hands are as soft as a liberal's foreign policy.
Oh, God, I miss Tim Allen's shows. But, of course, they were offensive to liberals. This caught me by surprise. An associate in the Hillary Clinton Uranium One Russia bribery case indicted. An 11, that's a 1 and a 1 together, count indictment has been handed down from a grand jury investigating possible Russian bribery involving former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Uranium One deal negotiated when she was part of the Obama administration, a report says. The indictment was levied against Maryland resident Mike Lambert, a former co-president of the nuclear transportation company involved in Hillary Clinton's deal to sell U.S. uranium interests to a Russian company. A Department of Justice statement says the 54-year-old Lambert was charged with 1 count of conspiracy to violate the Foreign Corrupt Practice Act and to commit wire fraud, 7 counts of violating FCPA, 2 counts of wire fraud, and 1 count of international promotion money laundering. The statement added, the charges stem from an alleged scheme to bribe a Russian official at JSC, really long, 10X, a subsidiary of Russia's State Atomic Energy Corporation and the sole supplier and exporter of Russian Federation uranium and uranium enrichment services to nuclear power companies worldwide in order to secure the contract with TNET. Ow. Oh, why do they come in at the worst possible times, these updates? Oh, damn it. All right. Sorry about that. The charges come on the heels of an 8-year investigation into the sale of Uranium One to the Russian company. The sale was completed in 2013. Peter Schweitzer, Government Accountability Institute president, broke the Uranium One scandal in his book, Clinton Cash, the untold story of how and why foreign governments and businesses helped make Bill and Hillary rich. The Uranium One scandal centers on the partial sale of a Canadian firm, Uranium One, to Russia's atomic energy giant, Rosatom. The Obama administration was required to approve the sale because it transferred 20% of the U.S. uranium stocks to Russia. As it happens, Hillary Clinton was on the federal board that approved the deal in 2010. In his Clinton Cash bestseller, Schweitzer reported that 9 foreign investors in the deal gave $145 million to Hillary and Bill Clinton's personal charity, the Clinton Foundation. Also, around that time, Bill Clinton was paid $500,000 for a speech in Moscow, raising serious question about backdoor pay-to-play payoffs. In December, U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions ordered the DOJ to re-examine the evidence and Uranium One investigation, fulfilling a promise one of his subordinates made to Congress to take another look at the case. It is unclear if this re-examination resulted in an indictment, but it is clear that the case had become dormant during the last few years. Even the New York Post suggested that Sessions should reopen the investigation into the scandal, saying in a November editorial, if crimes were committed to further Russia's nuclear goals here, America needs to know. You got liberals out there screaming, and you have Democrat politicians out there screaming, including Hillary, that Russia is so evil. So my question is, if Russia's so evil, it's such a danger, why did Hillary Clinton and Obama and that whole administration approve of selling 20% of our uranium to Russia? Somebody tell me that. Oh, boy. I got to load this up. Former President Barack Obama poked at Fox News viewers Saturday, saying they are living on a different planet than his NPR listeners. I love it when you don't agree with them, you're living on a different planet, or, you know, all the other 103 excuses that they make. There's a video for this. Come on. Come out, wherever you are. There it is. Play you the audio, then we'll go on from there. Which, not much to say. I mean, it's just an appearance on the Dave Letterman's new Netflix show. And he goes out to take a swipe at conservatives and Fox News again. It's okay when he attacks the news, Fox. It's okay. But when it's pointed out the truth that's going on, and listen, Fox News isn't that great either. But the fake news that's coming out of CNN and MSNBC, oh my God, it's the end of the world.
Well, let's listen. Are we going to play a clip of what President Obama has?
Here we have it.
Let's
there you
play
go.
it up.
One of the biggest challenges we have to our democracy is the degree to which we don't share a common baseline of facts. What the Russians exploited, but it was already here, is we are operating in completely different information universes. If you watch Fox News, you are living on a different planet than you are if you listen to NPR.
By the way, nothing has made me more happy about a Trump election than that condescending, professorial, looking down on people kind of language, and even his position.
He had to take a swipe, and that's what he did. But it's okay when he does it. Anybody else, oh my God, you're interfering with free speech. Because what pissed me off is he's the one that's had the DOJ go after actual journalists, wiretapping them, and so forth. And they didn't say a fucking thing. Now you would think that Trump's out there putting locks on the doors the way they speak. It's the same old bullshit over and over and over. You know, he already tried to, what was it, his comment, we have to tend to this garden of democracy or else things could fall apart quickly. That's what happened in Germany in 1930s, which, despite the democracy of the Weimar Republic and centuries of high-level culture and scientific achievement, Adolf Hitler rose to dominance. 6 million people died. So you got to pay attention and vote. Hey, Barack, that's why we did not vote Hillary Clinton into fucking office. You were the start of that rise, and Hillary would have been the pinnacle of that rise. That's why we voted Democrats out. And then the next article, oh my God. They cry about climate change, which doesn't make sense to me because climate changes, dumbass. They have to change that name sooner or later because climate changes. That's what it does. Day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute. But even with because they keep, the earth is heating up. It snowed in the Sahara Desert. A rare blanket of snow descended earlier this month on the usually sun-scorched sand dunes of the Sahara Desert. Let me say that again. It snowed in the Sahara Desert. Yeah, we got global warming real bad. Holy shit. Here in Florida, we were hitting at 30 degrees and like 50 degrees during the daytime. Yeah. It just... Oh, my God. Residents in the northern Algerian town flopped around in a dusting of white powder during an unusual January 6th snowfall, which melted later in the day, even as temperatures dropping below 35 degrees Fahrenheit. The town is called the Gateway to the Sahara Desert, where temperatures routinely crack 95 degrees Fahrenheit during the summer months. Frigid temperatures in the stretch of Sahara are rare, but not completely out of the ordinary. This town lies between the desert and the Atlas Mountains. Sahara saw snow in 2016 as well, but it had been nearly 40 years since snow last fell in this town before that time. The small area is 3,280 feet above sea level and is nestled between the flat, dry desert and a thick range of mountains in northern Africa. The Sahara Desert has gone through seismic temperatures and moisture shifts during the last several 1,000 years. It is expected to look greener over the next 15,000 years thanks to a natural shift in climate. Thanks to a natural shift in climate. That's what happened. That is exactly what happens in this earth. And that's what these people can't get through their head. They understand it, some of them do. They understand it. But they also know they can get these weak-minded people to give them money. And that's all it is a big scam. Nothing more, nothing less than a fucking scam. That's all global warming is. Climate change, whatever goddamn term you want to use for it. It is a farce. The numbers are not adding up. The models are all failures. New York is not underwater. There's so many things that I can go through, and I've done time and time again. All right, it's that time for a commercial. We'll be right back right after these messages, and you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Planet Radio. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Good evening. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is featured on the SHR Media Network every Tuesday and Thursday night for 2 hours at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific. Whilst manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ continues to radically change the world of leftists, one diaper at a time. Stop balancing your checkbooks. Stop cleaning your fish tanks. The Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is your magnet for truth, justice, obesity, a darkened studio, and late-night freedom. No United States of America freedoms were abridged in the making of this ad.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians, a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, clues to the clueless. Sackheads Sean, Sackheads Clint, and Sackheads BZ. The Sackheads Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern on shrmedia.com. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and the High Plains Pundit Network. The best in late-night conservative talk. The Sackheads Radio Show, only on the SHR Media Network.
Go ahead, I'll say it again.
Some of the best A-roll is going to be evil.
Like, what are you talking about? You can just, that's the last question that you're going to cut a couple seconds. Yeah, I'm a freaking artist. I can't just come up with this shit off the top of my head. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Good point. Exactly right.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through shrmedia.com, highplainstalkradio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the unpleasant blind guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on blogtalkradio.com. There's
no surrender ever.
Because truth is not always pleasant.
This is Sam on SHR Media. You can listen to my new show starting on Tuesdays in January. Get my perspective on national politics, a conservative's perspective on California politics, the latest in the war on terror, all of that and a lot more here on Tuesdays at SHR Media. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Sam_SHR Media.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hey, this is Sackhead Clint, and with Sackhead Sean, Sackhead BZ, no communists allowed on the SHR Media Network.
Damn straight, mister.
Back to the show.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense here on the SHR Media Network. Hey, Sean, you ever see a one-eared elephant?
No.
Check this out.
Oh, that's so tiny.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Don't forget, coming up top of the show is Dan Butcher. I keep forgetting the name of the show. I look it up during the break, and I get sidetracked onto something else. Oh, my God. I could be such an idiot sometimes. I know that. Sorry, Dan. Sorry. Let's see. HV. let me look this up so I can give the correct information. For some reason, I got Three Stooges in my head. Come on. Facebook's a little slow. Come on. Almost there. I think. Dang. Maybe not. Holy Toledo. Trying to find this information. It's Melanie Talks. I didn't play a Melanie Talks bit, did I? Damn. Huh. Now I can't find his show announcement. Let's check this other one. Come on. Oh, I hate this. Oh, anyway, Dan will be on the top of the hour. That's 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And stick around for him. Even though I totally botched that promo for him. Sorry, Dan. All right, what do we got? This is... Democrat lawmakers don't like the methodology that the Government Accountability Office used to find that it's difficult to buy firearms illegally on the Internet. The Democrats requested the report on online gun sales, but now they seem to want a new study to be conducted with different methodology. Well, when we send something to GAO, we allow them to do the process that they think makes sense. But we do have a disagreement with their methodology, and we're going to go and sit down with them and discuss how to get at that problem. It's a Hawaii Democrat, Senator Brian Schatz. Here's the thing. They want to sit down to figure out a methodology that will get them the answer they want. That's what it is. It's not that they don't like the methodology that was used. It didn't give them the answer that they want. That is not agreeing with shit for Democrats. And the only time it does is when they adjust the methodology to come out with the results that they want. They're trying to do it backwards. They got the result, and now they want the proof. It's the same thing with climate. The climate. They go backwards. He continued, our view is that it is absolutely possible to legally purchase guns online. The way that the GOA analysts did it, they announced to the seller, hey, I'd like to buy some guns illegally. I think the sellers are wise enough to decline. So we do not agree with their methodology, but we'll continue to work on this issue. In the first week of January, GAO released a report titled Internet Firearm Sales, ATF Enforcement Efforts, and Outcomes of GAO Covert Testing, commissioned by 3 Democratic lawmakers. That would be Schatz, Cummings, and Elizabeth Warren. The GOA report states that its investigators tried to illegally purchase firearms, both the surface web and the dark web. The investigators revealed their status to the seller as individuals who would ordinarily be banned from buying these guns legally, according to the report. Private sellers on surface web gun forums and in classified ads were unwilling to sell a firearm to an agent that self-identified as being prohibited from possessing a firearm. Gee! What they want them to do is go sneakily, because if you don't tell them you're nothing, it may not come up in conversation. And you know, oh my God, my head just started hurting. They have such a hard-on to try to ban guns, they will do anything. Of the 72 attempts agents made to purchase firearm on the surface web, 56 sellers refused to complete a transaction once we revealed that either the shipping address was across state lines or that we were prohibited by law from owning firearms. In the other cases, the investigators' website was frozen or they encountered suspected scammers. However, agents for the GAO who did not mention to sellers on the dark web they were prohibited from buying weapons were able to purchase 2 firearms illegally. These guns were not only shipped across state lines, but their serial numbers were destroyed. Ultimately, the GAO is not making recommendations in this report. So out of 70 attempts, they got 2 illegal guns. And maybe that's why the person's selling on the internet, because it is hard to regulate. That doesn't mean that there's all these guns being bought online. GAO findings show nothing so much as that private sellers advertising online are knowledgeable about the law, conscientious, and self-policing. The National Rifle Association said in a statement, "In buying firearms via the internet are subject to the same federal laws that apply to any other commercial or private gun sales." Websites like gunbroker.com and cheaperthandirt.com are popular legal online auction forums for firearms and ammunition purchases. At such site, a buyer must present to a FFL seller must present to a federal firearm license seller another FF dealer in the buyer's home state for a purchased firearm to be sent to. So basically, if I buy a gun and it's coming from Pennsylvania, it has to get shipped to a FFL dealer here in Florida. Hell, even if I ordered a gun, certain parts, or a whole gun here in Florida, and I live in Florida, I have to have it sent to an FFL dealer, and I pick it up from there. The D.C. asked Senator Schatz if he took issue with these websites that operate legitimately, and he stated he could not address the issue at that time. This is the one I really actually wanted to get to. Nancy Pelosi said that the money that's coming back to the American people from these bonuses is peanuts. It's nothing. That just showed what an elite bitch she is. It showed the elitism of the Democrat Party. Maybe to them, $1,000 is nothing. $1,000 to me is a mortgage payment. It's groceries for a month or two. His electric bills for a while. $1,000 goes a long way. But when you're an elitist like Nancy Pelosi, yes, $1,000 is nothing. And all she did is made the Democrats look like the party of the rich, sneering at the poor. There was a time when the Democrats may have been a party for working Americans. They seemed to understand and fight for the interests of the working people and people living in poverty. Republicans, by contrast, struggled for decades with the perception that they were for the rich. Well, things have turned around. Just look at the latest economic pronouncement of leading establishment Democrats. Here in my home state of California, in response to President Trump signing the GOP tax reform bill into law, State Senate Democrat leader Kevin DeLeon has taken up a new cause. Fight for the right of the richest Californians to evade their taxes. It's almost unbelievable, but true. DeLeon, who is also the leading challenger to Senator Feinstein in her primary battle as she seeks re-election this year, has proposed setting up a new so-called charity that would enable the Silicon Valley and Hollywood elites to claw back their losses from the Trump administration new tax reform law. If you're a member of a working family struggling to make ends meet, as pretty much half the American families are, after the economic disaster of the Bush and Obama years, then $1,000 makes a real difference. That tax reform law, let's remind us, actually means that some of the richest people in the richest part of America will pay more in taxes thanks to the drastic cuts and deductions from state and local taxes they pay. I am running out of time. I'd like to go on with that article. And that just puts a big mark on the Democrats. They care about the rich because they are the rich. And if you don't believe me, look it up. I want everybody to have a great night. I will be back tomorrow. Have a good evening. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.